From year to year, month to month, week to week, and day to day, people across the world are obsessed with a phenomenon that is professional wrestling. But why? 101 Reasons to Love Professional Wrestling. There are many components of professional wrestling that should be both understood and celebrated, in no particular order.
Authority figures. No one wants to be told what to do. The everyday man has everyday bosses. These bosses give us assignments, things that need to be done, and the majority are unlikable. In professional wrestling, it is very rare that an authority figure is a kind-hearted person. They are portrayed as vindictive, mean, and downright evil. However, we still have authority figures in our lives that tell us what to do. The traditional family unit has parents that tell children how to live their lives as they grow up. And while we grow up, we experience many others that dictate our fates. There is the law that governs the land. There are teachers that assign us homework. We have officials in sports to uphold the rules of the game. And for many, there are religious deities that we set our moral compasses to. Then we do grow up. We can start to make our own decisions. Except we have to work, so we have bosses. Like Huey Lewis's angelic voice tells us, we're all working for a living. Bosses control our focus for sometimes 40 plus hours a week. Sometimes we get fed up and quit these jobs, but most of the time we accept our place as a cog in the wheel and just do what we have to do. It's a status that we all have to deal with, a common man issue that many people feel very strongly about. So of course, professional wrestling would delve into these emotions and present their own authority figures. There have been a large variety of authority figures in wrestling of different types. In the early days of wrestling, the authority figure would be the commissioner or president of the company. They would step in and make matches, break up fights, hand out fines, and put their foot down when things got too heated. The National Wrestling Alliance would rely on a championship committee to make big decisions on big matches. With this and NWA and later WCW and TNA, there would be a representative of the committee in the form of legends like Dusty Rhodes and Larry Zbyszko. There would be Eric Bischoff running WCW and then Dixie Carter running TNA Impact. Pretty much every smaller company since, from Paul Heyman and ECW to random guy at your random local indie, they've all had their own authority figure. There would be many notable figures and beloved characters, but no one really nailed the performance of this role quite like the WWE. The WWF, and later the WWE would always uphold someone to the highest position. From its founding in 1963 all the way until 1997, the president ruled the show. The World Wrestling Federation would feature Jack Tunney, a longtime Canadian promoter and performer, that would suspend those who got too vicious, announce big matches, and in the case of the Royal Rumble in 1994, would make the big decision to hold a coin toss between the two winners of the match. This would evolve to others like legends Gorilla Monsoon and then Sergeant Slaughter as those who would lay down the law. As the 90s progressed, these figures would become more and more part of the storylines. This would eventually blow up when Vince McMahon would begin to showcase his real-life authority on camera with a heinous Mr. McMahon character. When you have a personality as big as Mr. McMahon, you would need a foil for him. Stone Cold Steve Austin would become a natural choice for this endeavor. Some of the most entertaining moments of the Attitude Era saw the Tom and Jerry-like war between McMahon and the Texas Rattlesnake. If all good things do come to an end, it would be inevitable that a great feud like this would also come to pass. However, the authority figure persona would remain. Iconic wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, William Regal, and others would take on roles as the commissioner. Then the role would be changed to general managers, with the WWE splitting rosters between two shows. Each presentation would have an authority figure to ensure the inmates never ran the asylum. If there was a brawl between multiple wrestlers, it would be expected for Teddy Long to come out and book a tag team match. Or, if you were being a real pest, he'd book you to go one-on-one with The Undertaker to set you right. It goes on and on. There was even a time period in WWE where a ringside laptop would run the show and make big decisions. There is nothing like getting off school, clocking out from work, or just kicking back after a long day and watching the escapism that is Raging Against the Machine. Being able to live out our disruptive dreams in a scenario of speaking up for yourself, taking your fate into your own hands, or just beating up those who have told you no, is a precious gift. We really do not like being told what to do, so why wouldn't our professional wrestling heroes feel the same way? As Stone Cold Steve Austin proved in all of his glory, you don't have to take it. You can just kick your employer in the gut, drop them with a Stone Cold Stunner, and celebrate with copious amounts of beer.